Like it or not, friends, our culture is changing, and our culture is one that is trusting the institutional church less and less as years go by. Our churches are shrinking, and people are drastically searching for a resolution to this issue. So I sat down with three people who are in the search as well. This group began in my hometown of Clear Lake, Texas, at the church I grew up at, Clear Lake Presbyterian Church. The head pastor at my church and a couple of other members of the staff recognized that our church and churches around were losing attendance. They quickly realized that it would take an out-of-the-box idea to solve this problem, thus coming up with the Research and Development Program, or R&D. Through this program, they wanted to create a church without walls. To do this, they planned an experiment that would last 2 years. The goal? To discover a model for being a disciple-multiplying church. They wanted to increase church attendance by trying things a little differently. The first person I interviewed was Daniel Wheeler, lifelong friend and one of the directors of R&D. Daniel has worked at COPC for as long as I can remember. Whether it was in our youth program or at his current job at R&D, he's always been a part of the church. When asked what R&D was, he told me that it's a safe place and a safe group where you can explore your faith. And I don't know about y'all, but a giant sanctuary with a bunch of people in it doesn't really sound like a comfortable place to be exploring uncharted areas of my faith. So I thought this idea of having a safe and open place to try new things is a great idea. Next, I interviewed Jimmy McGregor, another director in the R&D program. Jimmy is a great guy at my church that I've had a pleasure of knowing for quite some time now. And he was very enthusiastic and excited to tell me more about the R&D program during our interview. He also does mission work with Lighthouse Ministries, a nonprofit charity that my mom also happens to work at, so our families have known each other for quite some time now. And whenever I asked him what areas/locations they would be working at, he told me about a town called Bay Cliff. Once a thriving fishing town, now a quarter of the population is in poverty. And there they address the needs in education, food resources, and financial management. They build relationships with people as they seek to meet these needs. Lastly, I interviewed Mary Basic, the assistant director of R&D. Mary has hosted a Bible group study at my church for the older members for about 15 years now. But when she heard about the R&D program, she couldn't resist. And whenever I asked her why the church set out to do this program, she told me that it was because being disciples and making disciples is what Jesus instructed us to do. And that's plain and simple, but new. I mean, I've never seen a program like this that has been so focused on finding new disciples before. And this program is finding new ways to reach out to people that the traditional church just certainly can't. So from these interviews that I conducted, I learned that the American culture is changing. So our churches need to adapt to the changes by exploring new ways of making disciples of Jesus. After getting a sense of what they were doing and understand what their mission is, I think more people should hear about this program. It's serving the community while building up the church, watching lives change from one community to the next. Thank you.